GPSC webinar, and today we are going to talk on online teaching. That is why the theme has been aptly kept as e-Shiksha. I have an expert panel of 3 principals from Gurgaon, Ms. Rashmi Malik, Ms. Charu Maini and Ms. Nilima Prakash. First of all, I would like to introduce Rashmi. She's an educationist who started her career as a software professional and corporate IT trainer. With a postgraduate degree in IT, Rashmi has rich experience of over 25 years in the field of education. Currently, she is working as principal of Salwan Public School, Gurugram. Welcome, Rashmi.
Thank you, Aparna ji.
And it is needless to add that Rashmi has been awarded a number of platforms and has been a part of our webinars earlier also. I now welcome Charu. Ms. Charu Maini is a dedicated educationist and currently the principal of DAV Public School, Sector 49, Gurugram. A true visionary who has completed her education, postgraduate in education and in chemistry from the prestigious Delhi University. She has a vast experience of more than 27 years in the field of education. Welcome, Charu. I now welcome the moderator of the day, Dr. Nilima Prakash. She is Principal, Lions Public School, Gurugram. With 37 years experience in the field of education, she has been a principal for more than 21 years, has been awarded with a number of citations like Dr. S. Radhakrishnan Memorial Award, Best Principal Award, and many more. I welcome all 3 of you, and the floor is all yours on e-Shiksha.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Today, we are having a webinar on e-Shiksha. E-Shiksha means the education from the electronic media. This is the need of the hour. And as we know in this COVID-19, that education is one of the most important part, and it is being given by media only with the our tools, various tools which we people are using nowadays. So now Mrs. Rashmi, I'm going to hand over to Mrs. Rashmi Malik, who is going to tell you something about e-Shiksha, that why this e-Shiksha is needed. Online teaching, which is very essential, she has made the skeleton of in her presentation, that how e-Shiksha or the education is being structured and given to the students. So over to Mrs. Rashmi Malik. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neelama ma'am. I'll start my presentation. And first, a disclaimer that this webinar will not make you a magician, that's for sure. And as Nilima ma'am has rightly said, that we have this webinar actually in 2 parts. The very first part, obviously, I'm taking, and wherein I'll be giving a little overview of whatever we are doing, as far as the e-Shiksha or online teaching is concerned. So let me take you to this journey. We all know that before March 20, what were we doing as far as the e-Shiksha is concerned? We were having the smart classes, and many of our teachers were using some platforms for project submission, or a lot of things were being tried in the system. But lockdown onwards, what happened? Teachers suddenly all the teachers became e-teachers, including Sanskrit, Hindi, etc., etc. And we all actually managed to do beautifully this results, promotions to the next classes, compartment, retest exams, online session beginning, orientation of the parents, everything happened online. So that means we all upskilled ourselves from just using the smart classes on the campus to using the learning management platforms from home. So that was quite a remarkable feat. And if you think that after pandemic, we are going to have some escape from e-Shiksha, I'm sorry. We all know that we will not be able to escape from it. And in place of the complete online e-Shiksha, we'll be having blended teaching. So we'll take our extra classes, remedial classes, online assignments, assessments, AI-based analysis, etc., etc. A lot of jargons, which you have. Because if you see this national education policy, which has recently come out, and if you go to the para 23 of it, technology use and integration in education is going to be the foremost thing in the education industry. Government is thinking, as we all are aware, to create this National Educational Technology Forum, which is going to be an autonomous body who will be actually bringing in whatever latest innovation across the nation. And if you know about Diksha and Swayam, we all are actually using these two platforms. Swayam is for the higher education, but Diksha we are using actually for our CBSE platforms. So the usage and the contribution of teachers are bound to improve and increase. So my suggestion to all of you, keep doing the experimentation, keep using the various techniques inside your classrooms and store it. Store it so that you can upload it on these platforms, which will be very active very soon. They are already active, but they'll have more role in our lives later. Online versus offline, of course, I don't have to tell you the benefits and the issues which we all are facing, but then I thought, let me just quickly go through some points of it. The benefit of the free usage of benefit of online education is first, obviously, the free usage of high-end technology and open sources. This is going to improve and increase in our time to come. So we have to, keep ourselves abreast with whatever is happening in this industry. All the students, fortunately, now have got the front bench, in our class. So, we all can see them, we all can meet them, we all can interact with them. And there is no backbenchers in our classes now. Less distractions for the teacher if the teacher is using all the control measures in the class. And of course, if you're using the right kind of meeting platform, then you can extend your class timing also depending upon how the class goes. And of course, there is no restriction of time of interaction. You can interact with a child in the evening also, whatever time is suitable for both teacher as well as the students. Issues, yes, connectivity issue. I just faced 5 minutes before, exactly dot at 3 o'clock, my net went boom. And I was not even able to connect with my mobile phone. So mine was a genuine concern. But we all are aware as teachers and principals, there are fake connectivity issues also, especially when you're taking the online exam and the questions are tough. So I don't have to tell you about this. The second is obviously the assessment model has to be reworked, and it is getting reworked also. And we have decided that we'll go over a variety of assessments, to assess the child in their learning. Less interactive online teaching, because when you unmute everybody, it becomes noisy. So that's while teaching, it becomes a little hindrance sometimes. Then you have the screen time management, very essential, because children are using it for the teaching learning process also, and they're also using for their leisure time as well. So that is another issue which you're facing. And of course, the last but not the least, the 24/7 work. All the teachers, all the principals, all the educators all across the world are now online 24/7, and we keep looking at our mobiles, we keep looking at our emails. So obviously a little stress. So these are the issues which we feel. We must actually apprise with the new buzzwords, which you'll be hearing quite often now: disruptive technologies, blockchains, artificial intelligence, data analytics, machine learning, deep learning, and many more to come. So, get used to these new technical terminologies. It does not matter whether you're an IT teacher or not, but you should be knowing about it. Okay, we have a choice. We will say, okay, fair enough, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to, learn new tools. I don't want to know about these learning management systems which are coming. Fair enough, go ahead. Don't update yourself. So what will happen? Nothing. You can see at the bottom of the slide. We have a chance to become distinct, okay? But then if we do not update ourselves, we may get extinct. Sorry about it, but then that's gonna happen. Right, coming back to the online teaching. How do we start? These are some of the best practices. If you see, I took this photograph from Arizona State University professor's presentation. And it's very beautifully talks about, the various things in a very concise form, which are related to your online teaching. So the very first thing, if you just follow the arrow, which I'm saying, and that is alignment matters. That is, the course content has to be aligned. you should be very clear what exactly you want out of the course. Okay, so that is one thing. The second thing, if you see, the clear expectations has to be given to all the students. If you do not tell the student about the syllabus, about the due date, schedule, about the clear assignments, then the child will be confused. The teacher obviously is confused at how much I'm supposed to give, how much is left, and the child does not know what is the time, for the assignment submission, how will I be assessed. So this is something very, very important, which we all need to be very, very careful about. This thing, obviously, we need to give a very prompt feedback when we are teaching online. We have to have an engaging class for the students. Then we also have to have a teach for online student, basically breaking the learning into small chunks. For example, in our school, what we have done, like especially in the pre-primary classes, we have divided the class into 2 parts, and we take the classes separately because of the individual attention, which is supposed to be given to the pre-primary students. Real world application, this is very important because the child is sitting at home right now. You have to connect your concepts with the real world, which will motivate the students. And last but not the least, the instructor presence in the online class. How are you sitting in the class? How are you dressed up? How you are showcasing your personality to the students is very, very important right now to, keep the attention on the screen by the student. And of course, you have to have the expertise on the content which you're teaching, right? So these were some of the best practices for teaching online, which I thought that I'd elaborate on a bit. Next, when we go to, just give me a minute. Can you all see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are visible and your presentation too.
Okay. So actually, the presentation has stopped suddenly. I'll just share it again. Just give me a minute. So, the technical issues. We usually have these kind of issues.
That's what you were talking about also.
Yeah, I was.
Yes.
Okay. So we are, yeah, okay. So we'll go to the next slide because it seems to be a little heavy on the photographs. Okay. So we come back to the teaching learning cycle wherein we have the aims and learning outcomes. If you're very clear about this, your teaching learning will happen very efficiently. And then, of course, you have to, on the basis of learning outcomes, you have to choose the course content wherein you have to divide your teaching into teaching hours and independent learning hours of the students. The next step is teaching methods and resources. This is very important, wherein today we are talking about these teaching methods and resources. Charu ma'am will be telling you about the various e-tools which you can use, while creating the content. Then we have the assessment, which is very, very important part. As I told you, we have to do micro assessments, okay? You can use survey, you can use discussion forum. I mean, there are n number of tools available which you can utilize for your assessment. And then monitoring and review, wherein you have continuous feedback and peer evaluation and presentation. Review is very important, and feedback from the parents and students is very important to understand whether whatever you're teaching is actually reaching the learner or not. Okay. We come to these 2 terms, synchronous learning and asynchronous learning. Synchronous is obviously in the online class, the live learning which you're giving, the student is taking from you. Asynchronous is which is offline. So our online classroom will be a blend of these 2, right? Okay, I'm sharing with you a sample, which we had a sample of flowchart, learning flowchart, which we created in March. So when, the entire team was a little shocked by the lockdown and all, and how to come on online, etc. So this is one thing which we did. We put everything, whatever we are supposed to be doing for the online classes on this chart. So it became very easy. If you see that we, gave a very prominent position to channels of communication, all right? After this, we divided our syllabus as always, into various fractions. We had the yearly syllabus divided into monthly, and then it is weekly. If you see, these are some samples, how we share. As I said, that clear communication is very important with the parents and the students. So we share these monthly planners and home learning plans, with the parents. And these are the weekly planning, which is being shared with the parents, that what exactly is going to happen in the classes. Then we are using the flipped class concept. That means we are not giving those regular classes of 6 hours or something. We have made it very clear to the parents and the students that we will be teaching online through contact classes. We are not going to have those regular 6 hours or 7-hour classes. We'll have very fruitful classes of a shorter duration, but then it is going to be completing the entire concept. So flipped classroom, where you know that the child also has to study and come prepared for the class. So we divide the lesson plan into 3 parts: pre-class, during class, and post-class. If you see it here carefully, the pre-class content and post-class content are asynchronous teaching, right? And during class content is synchronous teaching, that is the live. So the child comes prepared with pre-class content and tries to do the assignments which have been given, or the presentations or projects which have been given as post-class content before coming to the class. And then the class happens in the week. That means we give these planning a week in advance. And during the week, during the class content is used, where the teacher is using videos, the teacher is using presentations, the teacher is using various tools, to ensure that the child's learning objectives have been achieved. Right? And then ultimate aim, if you see at the bottom of the slide, is that we have to create the independent learners. This is a sample of the lesson plan, wherein if you see on the top, there is a pre-content which is being shared. There's a link, and that is from diksha.gov.in. We have used, all the government platforms to the extent. Yes, we have used that. Then during the class content, we always, if there is a textbook required, then we give them link of that and the study material. And post class is usually the assignments, as I told you. Then this is a sample timetable which we use in our school, which comes to me every day in the morning with all the meeting IDs and passwords and, the name of the teachers. And one important thing in yellow color, which you see, is called as an observer. The observer teacher, usually it is from the same class or from the co-curricular activity. They are actually responsible for the attendance and discipline of the class. So this has really worked very well for our school. And of course, I don't have to tell you that teacher's role has really changed from sage on the stage to guide on this side. If you do not do this, you will lose control over the students, that's for sure. You will never come to know which student has been left behind. So be very, very careful about your role in the classroom. This is our favorite picture. All the educationists love this picture, wherein we see all types of animals, and the teacher is saying, for a fair selection, everybody has to take the same exam. Please climb that tree. But that used to happen before the online classes started, right? So now we have a number of ways to assess the children, and the way their personalities are in that form we can do. So this is one of the advantages of the online class. I'll take you to this question. I attended a training with Vicky, wherein this Blogspot link was shared by the professor. And this statement, if you read this, let me just read it for you. That while doing the examination, the effort is on avoiding cheating. Then instead of getting better answers, we have to think about this. It is well known that each individual is unique and different in terms of ability, proclivities, and capacities. Yet the same yardstick or battery of tests is used to grade each individual and label him or her as passed or failed. Can a human pass or fail? We succeed in adulthood through collaboration. So why is collaboration in tests and exams called cheating? So I'm just leaving it there. So we need to really, really ponder on this. And actually it is a very happy sign that online teaching, we can experiment with lots and lots of types of assessment, catering to all the multiple intelligences in our classes, right? Okay, so coming back to online teaching, we have learning management system, which we are using. So we have Google Classroom. I am sure many of us are using Microsoft LMS, that is learning management system, which is like combination of Microsoft Teams and Office 365. And then we have Moodle on cloud. This is another, LMS, and there are many more. If you just Google, you'll find n number of them. Blackboard is there, Haiku is there, Design to Learn is there. Today in the newspaper, I saw Flip Learn has come out with an LMS. Now the LMS which is suitable for you will work. Now these all companies are in great competition right now. Let me tell you, most of the things are free right now, okay? So that we choose our platforms. My suggestions to all the educators and the leaders here is, please try all of them in different levels. Do not stick to only one for the entire school, because suddenly if that company asks you for a huge charge later, then you'll be in a fix how to shift to another one. So try all of them at different levels, and then just compare, keep comparing, because they're all evolving right now. So you can keep comparing about their facilities and how useful it is for your own, environment. Google Classroom, we all know that 250 now they have added, and as I told you, they're continuously, evolving. Even Microsoft Teams, Office 365, a very good, platform wherein we have huge amount of apps also, like Sway, I think, is there for storyboards and all. And we have Microsoft Note, which can be utilized by teachers beautifully inside the classrooms. And of course, Moodle Cloud, as I told you, is another one. Then there is something called as meeting apps. We all are using nowadays. Now, I have purposely given you the names of the meeting apps which are right now Indian. Zoom, MS Team and Google Meet are foreigners. WebEx, GeoMeet, Hangout, GoToMeeting, Namaste, etc. are Indian. Okay, so the moment we become more patriotic, we'll start using our India-based companies and Google meeting apps. The name is so common that we always talk about Google. Anyway, Zoom is the best and the easiest one till date. That's what my personal view is. All right, so we're coming to the content creation for your, classes. We have to create video. We can record our lessons. We can record our classes also, because sometimes I think we all face these issues when the parents are asking that, please give us a recording of your class, right? So these are the various platforms which you can use to record. So Panopto is one of them. This is very brilliantly being used by higher education levels. Then this was something which I was also amazed to know, that PowerPoint also has a recording ability. So when you're presenting in the class, like for example, right now I'm presenting, if I want, I can record this, on my PowerPoint. Now the option is not available on the bar, but you will have to, go deeper into the options to check where the recording button is, okay, and bring it on top. Screencast-O-Matic, Screencastify, these all are very beautiful softwares for creation of videos. Now, obviously, when you create videos, sometimes, what I perceive right now is when the school will reopen, we'll go on campus, we'll have to have a combination, like there will be some students sitting at home, some in the classroom. So we may have to broadcast our classes. So you can try OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, and you obviously know about YouTube live streaming. So kindly try to, experiment right away so that we are ready for our future also. The videos become very heavy, when we have to move them from one platform to another. So these are the various tools which you can use, to resize your video or reduce the size of your videos. Handbrake is very efficient. Free Video Compressor is there. OpenShot tool is there. Vizia is another very interesting tool. It creates questions in between. I mean, you can create questions in between your video. So this is very, very interesting tool which I found. One tip which I found from a professor in FICCI training is that if you want to reduce your video size, just upload it on Facebook. So Facebook, has some ability internally to reduce the size of the video to post it on the page. So that's one thing which I'm sharing with you, which I learned from one of the professors in FICCI training. And yes, I am an IT background person, but I need training. So I continue taking trainings from various, platforms. Okay, so different types of content creation tools or platforms. You can see a lot of them. On right side, I have written two, the website's name. One is Direct Poll and the other is Online Stopwatch. So for example, right now, if I want to know, okay, what is the time? So I can open this stopwatch from online You can use this in your classroom activities. You can have that poll also being done, in your classroom activities. And then the game-based learning is really, becoming very, very common right now. And your kids would love it. If you just give them some project, on the base. Say, for example, I saw one of the kid, created a game on nouns. So there are various platforms like Minecraft, etc. You just go on Google, type down game-based learning softwares or platforms, you'll come to know. So it's up to you how much you want to take out from that sea of resources. So you have Animoto, you have Room SketchUp, Powtoon, Canva, Prezi, Google Docs, just try them. This PPT is gonna be there, or rather this entire session will be there on the Facebook page of GPSC. So you can anytime pause and check and try it out. The other is discussion platforms. This is very important for the senior students and teachers also, wherein these platforms will help you to create your own discussion forums. Like Edmodo is very common, Moot is there, Slack, G Suite, Slido, Yammer, Padlet, n number of others are there, but these are the most popular ones. So I thought that I'll share these names with all of you so that you can create an internal, discussion forum with the teachers, right? And of course, the senior students, if you're comfortable with. Okay, this is my favorite slide. Wherein, by the way, this I created myself, so I thought that I'll leave this also. So you have to be careful online. Whatever app, whatever platform you're using, please check on this lock on the browser. If this is not there, do not open that site at all, okay? Second is that we have a lot of passwords which are using. So keep having strong passwords. The strong passwords are, which are combination of uppercase, lowercase, means capital, small, which has numbers, which has symbols in it. So those are the strong passwords. Then you have the copyright issue, which you have to be very careful. Tell the students also, they should not just download the image from anywhere and everywhere and place it on their presentation, because they may get into copyright issue. Then we have one thing which I want to talk about very seriously is personal details of students. You have to be very careful that if you're using a platform or an app, and if it is asking too many details of your students, then don't use it, okay? Because we don't know how they are going to use that detail. The last but not the least on this slide is official email address only, please. Why I have written this is because I have seen many of us, tend to use our personal email addresses also, wherein, a lot of personal things are there. I'm not talking about the things which you don't want to share, but there are certain, like bank emails or our insurance emails, etc. So please refrain from using any other email except the official email address, or you can also create one specific email address for the use of online teaching or academics or whatever is related to the school. The same instruction you can pass on to your students also, that use one email address and don't use it for any other purpose, okay? And of course, strong password, needless to say that you have to use that. Sometimes I've seen that the schools create official email addresses and give to the staff, like in our school. We always insist that you should change your password the moment you receive the password also, because we give a common password to everybody. Usually the common one is admin@123. So please change the moment you receive this kind of password, change that password and make it a strong one, all right? Otherwise, you cannot imagine what kind of issues you might face later. All right, so now I'm giving you something to think and ponder. It says machines are learning to become humans and humans are learning to become, this is related to the artificial intelligence. No, we cannot be machines. Why? Because we have emotions with us. They can copy, the machines can copy the emotions, but they cannot generate the emotions, all right? So this slide, I want to see all of you. Okay, Charu ma'am, you have shared your PPT suddenly. Kindly stop.
You told me that this would be the indication.
No, kindly stop. All right, any which ways, let it be here. Okay, it's fine. No, you can be there. Okay, that was actually the last slide. Charu ma'am was right. She had seen my PPT earlier, so she knows. So
We had
basically on that slide, what I wanted to tell everybody was that you may, use a number of tools. You may make a very beautiful presentation. You may do very well in your online class, when you're presenting. But if it does not reach your children, it will be useless, right? So why it is useless? Because you had the will, but if you do not love your kids, it's not gonna reach them. So please, if you want to be really, really successful during these times and during the online classes, ensure that will is combined with love, right? So I have combined today the will, I've been creating this presentation along with my IT team for I think 2-3 days now, and every time I look at it, I wanted to add out something or something else. Okay, ye bhi dal dete, ye bhi dal dete. So that's what my love for all of you was. So with love, lots and lots of love, I hand over the session to Charu ma'am. Charu ma'am will take you through all the e-tools which you can utilize in your classroom, experiment with them, and please do use them with one caution: do not get overboard. Do not use it in 1 week only. Just staggered all these e-tools, okay? And just enjoy. Enjoy. I know it's stressful, but then you must have the time management skills, and that is what the pandemic is here to teach us. Thank you so very much for a patient hearing. And although you all were mute, so obviously you had no choice, I'm sorry. So, Charu ma'am,
Thank you so much, Rashmi.
yours. All yours. Thank you.
And sorry for barging in. Actually, yes, you are right. I saw your PPT, and so I thought it is just going to be over, and so that's the reason. So hello, my dear friends. A very good afternoon to all the learned principals and their empowered team of teachers who all have joined us. The very fact that Gurgaon Sahodaya has been planning insightful webinars, and you all, my dear participants, are here to be co-learners in our journey. Obviously, we are not creating, as Rashmi ma'am rightly said, it's a sea, and we have to see through it. We have to filter and find what suits us. So we have to be co-learners in our journey. So we are here just to share what we have been doing, and maybe get some insights and inputs from you. So this journey to make education meaningful is a clear indication of the fact that Gurgaon Sahodaya is a dynamic and forward-looking body. And for this, I congratulate the chairperson and the office bearers for bringing all of us together for these educational discussions. And Rashmi ma'am, please, thank you so much for setting the tone for today. And before Rashmi ma'am, in the webinar number 7 and 8 also, that when we discussed about NEP and then assessment by our colleagues, respectively in 7 and 8, it all has set up the tone that, okay, curriculum, and then we have to be the architects of our teaching. So the assessment is very much necessary because it takes us through the cycle. And yes, now Rashmi ma'am has given us the platform. So no, my dear friends, the platform is all set. The synchronous learning on Teams or Meets or Zoom, as she has told, timetables have been made, teachers have made their lesson plans as beautifully as explained by Rashmi ma'am. And as she rightly said, the government is also on it. At it, the QR codes, I am sure you all have seen that the new NCERT books have QR codes. You can scan them and actually see some beautiful resources that have been developed very professionally. DTH channels are getting ready, MOOC, SWAYAM, all these things are there. Okay, so with this, the difficult roads, they say, often lead to beautiful destinations, and that's what we are headed for. And here we go, the platform, as we said, is ready. The teacher's diary, the lesson plan, where do we put it? We can put it on the Google Drive so that everything is lined up for our future use. And this time is, God forbid, is not going to come again, but we have learned a lot. So all this has to be really put together so that we can use it in our future. Synchronous learning. For this, as she rightly said, we have to connect with the students and in our school we are doing on Teams and Google Meets. And asynchronous learning, that is the flip learning mode, where on Google Drive, Microsoft Soft Teams, class blogs, the material is being put. And then notebook correction. Yes, very important part. We have to see to it that notebooks are being corrected. I'll take you through all this and also some specific tools for subjects and general tools. So our sojourn into the new era of teaching and learning, my dear friends, here it starts. So here we have a sample how the teachers are putting their diaries, teacher diary using Google Docs. Okay, and it comes to me, I can see, the supervisory heads can see, and editing, etc. I can make a comment here. Go ahead, the four walls, beyond the four walls of the classroom, you connect with the students on Google Meets, class scheduling, everything in order. And for flip learning on the Google Drive, these folders have been made for subject-wise and class-wise. For example, this is for a class 9A, the subfolders, and the student can get into it when the passwords are there, so that password protected, so that the students can have they can learn at their own pace. Okay, and method of sharing on Microsoft Teams, we have assignment section where the teacher puts the assignment, content library where she puts the content, and post section where she posts the class blogs which are there on the website. You all can create, and I'm sure most of you already have those wonderful tools where the work of the students goes up the class blogs, and the teacher also gives some work, and it gives aha moment. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So to the students and as Anuradha ma'am in the last webinar said, yes, the students creating blog give them a good tool to communicate. The class notebook correction, I'm sure most of you are doing it. So this is how it's being done. So the teacher has selected a pen and a red color here, and she has corrected and also written good on the student work that was uploaded. If you have not been doing, this can be done. Okay, and then, yes, this is another sample of social science teacher for class 10. And this one is on Google Forms. I'm sure most of you are using it, and Google Forms gives us, it's a lighter platform as compared to Microsoft Teams, and the teachers can easily upload their pictures. The student has written the answer, and she can pinpoint the mistake, write the comments here, and say good, whatever, and the corrections. That's how it's going. So now after this, the stage is set. The teacher has all the tools, and now coming to the joyful activities, because that's what we want. As Rashmi ma'am really rightly said, that we have to have some magic in the classroom so that the students are there with us and they're looking forward to our classes and joining us. Okay, so joyful activities. So I will take you through these joyful activities subject-wise first, and science being my subject. So let's start with the science, what all tools, and I'm not saying this is the end of it. There are many, many tools that you can explore. These are the tools that we explored in the past 5 months, and the teachers are really loving them. The first one coming across, my dear friend, is PhET. And see, the site has already said PhET for COVID-19 times. So they have all the resources put together: physics, chemistry, maths, earth sciences, biology. There are simulations which you can map according to the chapter, the topic that you're teaching. I'll just take you through one simulation for physics. And here the teacher is teaching Faraday's law, and just see how with the Faraday's law, she can take the this thing, magnet, right? And yes, and see here the lines, magnetic lines of forces being developed, and the students can work on it. The knot being here, and then she can rotate the magnet. Similarly, there was another on friction, where by increasing the friction, increasing the load, weight, etc., the students can calculate. And my dear friends, as I take you through different tools or platforms, you'll see the site name on the top, and there's a sample here which will be there because of paucity of time. I won't be clicking on this, and there's a tutorial link also which you can follow and and Rashmi ma'am has rightly said, this whole presentation would be there on the Facebook page, Gurgaon Sahodia, and you can visit it anytime and see. Okay. Another tool, my dear friends, which my teachers are really loving is eDraw Maps. Okay, creating flowcharts, mind maps, etc. And the best part about this is that you can give work to the students or also use it while teaching. For example, here the teacher used it for teaching the lenses. So here this is a concave lens. Yeah, my science has to be right, concave. And now on the concave lens, let us choose principal axis, and on the principal axis, I should pick one. Let's say, what should I pick? Candle. So yes, there is the candle, and the candle is here, and then I'll pick one ray of light. Nilima ma'am, mute yourself. So the ray of light which goes, and yes, the students can work and give their assignments to the teacher, present their assignment to the teacher. Wonderful. And I, being from chemistry, this is one tool that I love. ChemSketch from ACT. So a free comprehensive chemical drawing package. Here I can feed in the IUPAC name of the compound, by that, and from there I can get the whole structure, or I can feed in the structure, get the IUPAC name, I can get the 3D design, I can see how the molecule looks in the spatial arrangement. All those things, beautiful tool if you wish to explore that is. And like Rashmi ma'am also said, don't go to berserk with all these tools that are coming to hand, and go slow, explore one, get used to it, then only go to another when you need it. So OLabs is another, and I'm sure many of you are using it. And in our principal forums, the principals have been talking about practicals ka kya kar rahe ho. So practicals ka kya kar rahe hain? OLabs is a wonderful tool which we can use, physics, chemistry, biology, maths, and as well as English. They have laboratory techniques and lab work. Language lab is here for all these subjects. And the students can use it. The teacher, like for example, here my chemistry teacher has used it for determination of concentration of KMnO4 solution. And the burette reading is here, the burner is here. If the student does not heat the solution, it will not give reaction. And the H2SO4 has to report how many drops, what is the rate of dropping and starting the reaction, everything as if you are controlling the experiment in your own hands is the whole situation program here. And even after the COVID-19 lockdown open, I hope we can still use this OLabs for maybe revisions or for pre-knowledge. Before we take the students to the labs, we can use this so that they know what they are going to face and what are the lab. They have to take care of various things in the lab. Okay, then another lab activity of the science. Coming to mathematics, my dear friends, this GeoGebra, if you're not using, please start using it. A wonderful tool, GeoGebra. And here I'll just show you median and mean visualization for class 8. And here, the best thing is all the students that are present in the class would be there. And the work that they do, for example, Ayush Kumar, what he is doing, the teacher would get to know. And the presentation of the whole class program would be there. Similarly here, see the task is there and different names were there, as you can see, that whatever the students have done. The next work coming is about mensuration activity that the teacher has given to the students and the names of all the students who participated in the activity. So one, you know that the students are participating. Second, the students get to know that their work is being recognized, and if they are not able to do, they should be able to correct it. For example, here, Lakshita Yadav's screen, we can see that she can change the radius, she can calculate, and she will also get to know herself whether the answer is correct or not. So wonderful tool. Again, languages. WordWall is a beautiful tool which not only for languages, you can use it for other subjects too, for creating various worksheets. So like for example here, directly it tells you right or wrong, that is for tenses. Then this is another word wheel, beautiful thing. I loved it. So here the wheel spins. Let me spin the wheel. And yes, where does it stop? Cry. And tell the past form of the regular word that children say. So for younger ones, you can use it. Similarly for Hindi, many a times the Hindi teachers and Sanskrit teachers say we do not have good tools for Hindi and Sanskrit. WordWall has that. So create better lessons quicker. That's the jargon that they have. Hindi के स्वर सीखने के लिए ये बनाया, यहाँ से उठा के आप इधर लगा सकते हैं. And then coming, yes, this is another. Here the teacher has on Educa Play. This is another site that you can check out. So teacher has written she has created this site herself. Mukhjor Singh or Dharti Patak Singh, do dash the. So from here she will pick and time it and the marks that she gets, the student gets individual, she will get to know. Niti Shlok for Sanskrit, another app where the children can learn. And this is a beautiful website for Sanskrit. Sanskrit Promotion Foundation, here there are Sanskrit tutorial. It is the whole NCERT ka pura syllabus mapped hai, and whatever Sanskrit they need to know, that is there. And there are beautiful stories with animations, there are songs, there are poems, and besides that, some extra work if you till higher education from class 1, if the 1 means the basic, till the higher education, everything is here, and a wonderful site. Teachers are really loving it. Social science, one thing that the teachers wish to know is that the students should be good at map work. And so let's see how the map work can be done with this tool, thinkling.com. So let me select pin. And then let's write and the Bad here, yes. And then description that Gandhiji stayed here. So pinning it, the child brings the pin here and gets the description. Gandhiji organized Satyagraha. So a complete tool for teaching map work and the things associated with it. Okay. Similarly, we have another Google Earth tab. I'm sure most of you are using this for social science, a beautiful, beautiful tool to give communication to skills also to the students. They are exploring themselves. So class 5 students, 3 students.
There are beautiful carvings on the wall of main temple. There is the Natya Mandal.
So the students can do that. Another thing, because map work basically I've taken here again. So if you don't want to choose much tools, so Microsoft Word, everyone is doing. The teacher has just clicked a photograph of the political map, and then from the shapes, she selects freehand and draws. Agar France ko karna hai, to she will just outline France, or if it is other thing, and then color, and then label. That's how the students can go ahead. So map work can be done by the students, and it can also be submitted as an assignment. So this, my dear friend, was for the subject specific tools. I'm sure you all are making a note of that. And now coming to some general tools, mind maps, quizzes, live worksheets, Quizlet, Kahoot, we all are using that, I know. And just quickly. So when we talk about mind maps really work wonders because they collate all the data in our minds, and there are a number of sites that give us like free mind map and Mind Mister, and that this one that I'm going to discuss, and MindMap, etc. There are many number, and then Ed Hardy, etc. So Mind Mister is a good one in the sense because here you get to upload videos, you get to upload photographs, you get to upload documents in your mind map. So the students can click on it and then go ahead. So I'm not doing it right away. And the mind map is a simpler one. Here the teacher has created simple mind map for social science, and here for mathematics. Padlet, my favorite again, and Rashmi ma'am also talked about it. Padlet really gives an exposure to the children, and they get to put their thoughts. And like this one, the upper one is for the economics teacher for using in class 11, meme economics, so memes for economics. And yes, while we are doing it, as Rashmi ma'am also said very rightly, we have to sensitize the students from where we are picking our data, isn't it? So it has to be, it should not be a copyright kind of a thing. Ki hum ye School ke liye, it won't make much of a difference, but yes, if you are using it for your presentations, etc., it really makes a lot of difference. And also how to search for a good site and what type. And here, this is just class 7 students learning about polynomials. Okay, and the teacher has given a question, and they have the Sarthak, and see here the names of the students, etc. Here the teacher can give stars, she can give marks, she can give thumbs up, whatever she chooses. There are various. If you have not explored Padlet, I would request all of you to explore Padlet and go through it. And see here, the class 5 students are also using Padlet. Okay, the teacher wanted to do this exploration, exploring India, my beautiful India. So the students have uploaded various pictures from the website. And here class 4 students have created a storyboard with Padlet, and during the Independence Day celebrations. Wonderful tool, and it's so easy. Now our students have learned how to upload, how to download and present their work. That's the best thing that has happened. Another beautiful tool that I came across just last week is, and my teachers basically, Nearpod. Wonderful tool, beautiful, and thoda sa aur acha hai as compared to Padlet. Padlet अच्छा, easy to use है. यहाँ पर you can log in, and you will wonder how you taught without it. Engaging media, formative assessments, and make every lesson very interactive. So you have to sign up. You can sign up for free. And here you can see in Nearpod, my dear friends, you have lessons, you have videos. You can map these lessons and videos to the chapter that you're teaching. You can select the standard or the state. You can select the subject, English, math, science here. You can select the grade from kindergarten to high school. You have, obviously, the standards in India or in your school would be different from whatever, but yes, you can map, you can search, and there are various different things here which you can do. And inside the tool, this site that is Nearpod, you have activities like this: time to climb, open-ended question, match the pair, quiz, Flipgrid, draw it, collaborate, poll, fill in the blanks. It's a complete website in itself, learning a website in itself, which we can use. Content also, like FET मैंने discuss किया था थोड़ी देर पहले, it is also coming. They have sway workshops, presentations, slideshows, etc. All this is there to be explored and work. Yes, you have to spend time, my dear friends, a little, yes, and then go ahead. Okay, and here what's the I had not put this, you know, ये जो पर्दा खुल रहा है ना, ये Flipgrid ने अपने आप लगा दिया लगता है, पता नहीं कैसे बना मैंने. So Flipgrid, I'm sure many of you are using it, and Flipgrid is a website that allows teachers to create grids to facilitate video discussions. Okay, so see the younger ones, 3rd, 4th standards, beautiful. Flipgrid भी Padlet जैसा ही है, थोड़ा सा इससे और अच्छा. क्यों? क्योंकि इसमें क्या हो रहा है कि सब बच्चों का यहाँ पर you can see the names, and you can also see who all have uploaded, who all have upload. जिन्होंने कर दिया वो green हो जाएंगे, and जिन्होंने नहीं किया अभी तक ये सारा खाली है. Travel plans, recitation of I speak, I say, I talk, some recitation, and the students are uploading their videos here. And like here on the grid, all the students are visible one by one. Teacher can unlock, and the students can listen, and they can. It's a very good tool for peer assessment, because in the previous webinar we have been talking about peer assessment as a very good tool where we assessment for learning. We have that, and that is what we have to bring our students finally to. Okay, so jigsaw puzzles, beautiful tool. We can use it for any subject. Here the teacher is using for making for political maps, easy to hard, shapes what she wants. For example, here I'll just go a little fast. So यहाँ पर इन्होंने पूरा globe को तोड़ दिया है, और उसके बाद the child is putting it across to get the whole thing. So this was for jigsaw. Crosswords, again, there are ample number of sites I'm sure you are using them. Crossword labs is an easy one where we can use it. Another Ed Hardy, hot potatoes. There are many of them which you can use. And यहाँ पर आपने खाली क्या डालना है? आपने questions डालने हैं और answer डालने हैं. They will do the rest of the job. If you have not used, please do it. And yes, खाली पढ़ाई नहीं करनी. We have to also help the students acquire 21st century skills, communication, collaboration, etc. So अब इसमें AI and robotics, Tinkercad design, drone design, a wonderful site. छोटे छोटे बच्चे 3rd 4th के इसमें अपना 3D डिजाइनिंग कर रहे हैं and they are coming up. तो ये देखो इन्होंने बना दिया एक रोबो, COVID-19 का एक रोबो बनाया है बच्चों ने अपना, okay, and by collecting things from here, and the robot can work, and then the student can also do a voice over to this, that what the child has done in this. Okay, another Tinkercad design is LED simulation. So the students are learning how to write codes, coding सीख रहे हैं, and then how to do this LED simulations and see how it works. Okay, time is less, so I cannot play the video. Okay, MIT App Inventor, wonderful for the mobile phones. Apps बनाने हैं, और आजकल तो it has become a buzzword. आपके बच्चे app inventor कर रहे हैं and app inventing कर रहे हैं. Are your kids learning coding? So yes, and खाली buzzword नहीं है. We have to see to it that we are giving enough exposure to our kids so that they are able to do it. And this is another site, App Inventor है. आप उसको Google पे search करिए, and छोटे छोटे बच्चे आपके छोटी छोटी apps like learn mathematics table from 0 to 20 and submit, they will be able to do it. Easy है, बहुत easy है, लेकिन काम करना पड़ेगा. Okay, in collaboration with Learn to Code, yes, we did this at our school. The students are developing games, as you can see, the young ones, and MIT App Inventor पे काम कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, और ये कुछ computational AI skills सीख रहे हैं. आप जरूर इसको करें, देखें, कुछ और नया निकालें. And then STEM, yes, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, doing with hand, much important that the students should do. Time is running fast. Cartoon strips they can make, storyboard, and cartoon strip का ये storyboard that ये एक website है, you should explore it. Tutorial link हर एक का मैंने यहाँ पर दिया है, जो कि आप Facebook page पे जाके फिर से copy कर सकते हैं अगर अभी जल्दी हो रहा है और काम नहीं हो पा रहा है. Flipbooks आजकल सब लोग बना रहे हैं. There are n number of sites from which you can make the flipbook. And ये बताओ, ये वाली flipbook मेरे 8th और 9th के बच्चों ने बनाई है. ठीक है, only the data was given to them and they have created this flipbook. Not much time. Mentimeter, most of us are using last time, and it is also being used in webinars. So, and it can be used for waking the students up, जगाने के लिए, देखने के लिए, बच्चे सो तो नहीं रहे. Google Forms for assessment can be used, and also it gives answers at the time the teacher can check and also mark and total up. Okay, so इसमें ये है तो थोड़ा लंबा, लेकिन अब मैं आगे चल रही हूँ. Quizzes, another wonderful one. Here in quizzes क्या हो रहा है, स्कोर भी हो रहा है, एक्यूरेसी एंड टाइमिंग के साथ में हम उसको कर रहे हैं कि क्वेश्चन दे दिए और बच्चे कितने सेकंड्स में कितना कर रहे हैं, उस हिसाब से उनकी मार्किंग हो रही है. वंडरफुल साइट, टीचर्स आर लविंग इट. दे आर सेइंग मैम बच्चे अपने दे sometimes to put them on toes. मतलब दोनों तरह से करना है ना. We have to also we have to give them chance to learn on their own, and also they have to learn to run against time also sometimes. दोनों चीजें सिखानी है उनको, और फिर हमें देखना है जिसको तकलीफ हो रही है बच्चे को, तो उसको प्यार से भी आगे बढ़ाना है. That's what we have to. Quizlet is another. I'm sure you are using it because in the last webinar, Ma'am Arpita Acharya did talk about it. We can use it for making question papers. Kahoot, you all are using, I'm sure. If not, you should explore this. Link is there. Okay, Socrative. बहुत ही सुंदर ऐप है और ज़्यादा लोग कहीं नहीं यूज़ कर रहे, मुझे ऐसा लगा, तो इसको मैंने ले लिया। इसमें संस्कृत में टीचर ने यूज़ किया है। इसमें जैसे सपोज 5 क्वेश्चंस थे और उनके यहाँ पर मल्टीपल चॉइस इसके आंसर्स हैं, और इसमें एक ग्लांस पे टीचर को ये समझ में आ जाता है कि एक पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन में ये जो लाइक क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 ज़्यादातर बच्चे या तो गलत कर रहे हैं या फिर कर ही नहीं रहे हैं, तो शी कैन टेक दैट कॉन्सेप्ट अगेन, लर्निंग assessment for learning. Okay, that is what. And EduCandy एक बहुत ही प्यारा टूल है फॉर द क्रिएटिंग लाइव वर्कशीट्स छोटे छोटे बच्चों के लिए, और इसके अंदर EduCandy पे बड़ी प्यारी प्यारी वर्कशीट्स टीचर्स ने बनाई हैं और उसमें साथ के साथ काम हो रहा है। एंड दिस liveworksheets.com ये भी एक बहुत सुंदर है। इसमें फॉर एग्जांपल सर्कल्स का एक असाइनमेंट दिया है टीचर ने, और ये बच्चे का नाम अंताश है, इसे बताना नहीं चाहिए, और लेकिन ये फेक नाम है, और इसके अंदर बच्चे ने भर दिया, फिनिश किया, और इसके बाद जो करेक्ट है करेक्ट, और साथ में मार्क्स भी साथ के साथ लगे। टीचर डजंट हैव टू चेक इट, ये जो 6 लिखा हुआ है टीचर ने नहीं लिखा, ये लाइव वर्कशीट वाले ने अपने आप लिख दिया है। ओके, तो आप इसको एक्सप्लोर करें अगर नहीं किया अब तक तो। ओके, एंड देन थैंक यू। सो आई वॉज रशिंग अगेंस्ट टाइम बिकॉज इतना गागर में सागर को भरना था।
And I think I also overshot my time for 5 or 8.
No. So I hope, my dear friends, now you can unmute yourselves, and thank you so much for this. I hope it was not boring.
Charu ma'am, you have to stop sharing.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Rashmi ma'am and Charu ma'am.
Yes.
It really, Charu ma'am, it was a really brainstorming session which you have given us. Many tools you have given us, and you have taught the way how to enter in the class, how to occupy the students, how to occupy the teachers, and how teachers, they train themselves and make the class very, very interesting. So now, if anybody want to ask the questions, all the teachers, participants, I would like that if anybody has any questions, you please write it down here so that we can put it up in front of our
in the meantime, I'll just say thanks once again. And it was wonderful. The tone was set so beautifully by Rashmi. And I
yes
so
I know the motivational thing was started, and then of course you have taken up.
Before
Rashmi
that,
ma'am has
Good evening,
really
ma'am.
started, as I told you that this was a skeleton, and you have made us enter in the class that how to make
someone was asking
the
a question
muscles.
here.
So this was very awesome session. Now one question I want to ask you, that yes, nowadays this is the need of the hour, that e-technology we people are using, everybody is using various types of technology, various softwares, and but still some challenges are there. Number one challenge is that the students, those who are using this technology, they are sitting 8 to 10 hours on the screen. And not only physique, the eyesights are also effective, and parents are really, really worried about it. So if ma'am, you can give us some guidance on that. I want to ask it to Charu ma'am this.
Okay, any one of us can answer.
Yes, anyone can, any one of you please.
I'll take it, Nilima ma'am.
Fine.
I'll take it, Charu ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is something I think we all educators had in our mind when we started with the online classes in March and April. And then, there was concern shown by the parents also. So, we at our school, we had organized a webinar with an ophthalmologist. And I'm talking about what he spoke in the webinar to all the parents. And he quoted, international research wherein he said that for a child up to 2 years, you should avoid screen time.
Yes.
For children 2 to 3 years, he said the research says that 10 hours should be the maximum screen time, right?
Okay.
And beyond 3 years, it depends from person to person. And then he also talked about a lot of eye exercises, and there was a rule called 20-20-20. So he said every 20 minutes, you must blink your eyes 20 times. Okay. And you must look away from the screen. So I'm not saying that all the students or teachers, after 20 minutes, just clock your time and then just start removing. Yeah. But this is a natural thing which we are doing, we are not continuously looking at the screen all the time. And then there is a difference between good screen time and bad screen time. Good screen time is when you have a responsible human on the other side. Okay. And bad, we know that which we use for our own leisure and comfort, and we want to say, okay, I want to see the a movie right now just to give comfort. So if the child or any other person for that matter is involved online too much for the content and other things, then we must try to avoid those leisured screen watching. So that is the reason, if you saw the issues when I was talking about online learning, I was talking about screen time management. So that is very essential right at this moment.
I would just add one thing that, like at our school, for the younger ones, especially till class 5 and 6, the teacher purposely, we have made it mandatory that each teacher does that eye exercises, the way Rashmi ma'am was talking about.
Okay.
So eye exercises का एक वीडियो हमने पहले बनाया था और वो सब टीचर्स ने डिस्कस किया है, and वो move look here, move there, and all
Yes,
those
yes,
things.
yes.
Every teacher, like वो 20 minutes वाली बात हो गई जो like Rashmi ma'am was talking, they do it, and it is really working, and parents are really happy that the teachers are also happy, are working for the eyes and eyesight of the students. Yes.
So that's a very, very knowledgeable answer, ma'am. You have given that the eye exercise is very, very essential, and teachers, they can take the children for the exercises on the screen. And one other question is there, that yes, assessment is also one of the challenges. One question has been asked that assessment is one of the challenges. We are using all types of technology, like the teachers are observing, invigilating 3 teachers, 2 teachers are there in one examination. And as Charu ma'am and Rashmi ma'am has taught us, so many tools we are using for the examination. But still, especially these senior children, they are disturbing the class and they find out various means of cheating.
मैम जिस चीज से जितना डरेंगे ना वो उतना ही आपको डराएगी, isn't it? तो बच्चे हैं, like रश्मि मैम very nicely she has said, पिक्की से उन्होंने कुछ सीखा था, तो उसी में ये है कि they will do it, isn't it? Mischievous होंगे वो, तो अब हमें क्या करना है? We have to
more careful.
नहीं, careful कैसे होना है? Like one thing is we can design some open book tests.
Yes, yes, various types of things.
चलो कहाँ से ढूंढोगे आंसर, वो हम देख लेंगे. मतलब ढूंढना में तो एक कला है ना. अगर ढूंढने के लिए किताब पढ़ी होगी तब तो ढूंढेंगे वो.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
So make some, at least in the question paper, and that's what in my meetings with the teachers I have said कि कम से कम ऐसे questions होने चाहिए जिसका आंसर कहीं भी डायरेक्ट आपको गूगल करके ना मिले.
Right.
Another thing is like while I was discussing with Rashmi ma'am, because हमारी काफी meetings हुई कि हमने करना क्या है इसके अंदर, और उससे पहले अर्पिता आचार्य मैम ने भी थोड़ा सा,
yeah, she has also explained it. Yes.
तो काफी दिमाग चलना शुरू हुआ. तो उसमें we thought about कि if we tell the students to make questions and कैसा question बनाते हैं, what is the strength of the question, and if the question cannot be found on Google, that can also be a good one. Okay. Besides that, वो simple tools जो हैं कि Google Sheets में आप multiple choice questions को change करो, all those things are there. Rashmi ma'am, would you like to add something?
Yeah. I, taking on from there, for half yearlies, as I was discussing with Charu ma'am, that I have suggested the teachers and the coordinators that you ask your class students to create question papers, maybe say 5 questions, all right? And you will be giving them marks for that as an internal assessment. So 5 number का आपका internal assessment है, जिसमें बच्चे ने एक बहुत बढ़िया सा आप 2
question बनाया है,
तो question paper बनाया. So वो 5 question उसको ऐसे बनाने जिसका आंसर गूगल पे ना आए, right? और जिसका आंसर आ गया उसमें 0, जिसका आंसर नहीं मिला उसमें 1. So this way the child will get motivated to create such question paper. And imagine a class of 30, you will have 30 into 5. So many questions.
Creating questions requires much more knowledge. Like, if you are not just copying, it is you actually need an in-depth knowledge of the topic if you have to create questions. So it is a
So
wonderful
basically, take help from students only.
So that's how they'll read the chapter. Yes. They
Yes.
will read the chapter thoroughly. And yes, of course, when the assessment comes on the students, they do it very nicely and very effectively.
And in the end, I would just like to say that basically here we are taking the students towards metacognition.
Yeah.
Thinking
Yes.
to think. Okay, so they have to be they should be responsible for their own learning. उनमें धीरे धीरे हमें अब क्योंकि आदत ऐसी पड़ गई है कि वो फैब्रिक में चला गया है कि मार्क्स आएंगे तो है, तो धीरे धीरे अगर if we all, because we are the architects of as I can say, the educationists are the architects
Education
of
system.
education system. तो अगर हम सोच ही लें कि हमने खाली मार्क्स को अहमियत नहीं देनी है, and the way the child learns, so obviously the education system would change, the way the question papers are made has changed. Basically it is breaking the mindset, and that ice breaking has to be done. थोड़ा कोरोना ने कर दिया, थोड़ा हम सब मिलके GPSC में कर दिया.
Yes, yes. So anyway, with this, I want to give thanks to all my seniors. Any other, sorry to say that, if anybody wants to ask anything, please, you write it down in the chat box. No question I am seeing here. So many teachers are sitting there. I think the webinar is very knowledgeable and everybody has understood everything. Things have been explained properly.
Now you need to explain.
Many tools you have taught us that how to use it. And we are going to use all these tools in our education system.
They have to go and actually work on it.
Yes, yes, very much. So I would like that now we should close this meeting. So with that, all the senior, thank you very much. A big thank you to all of you, all our seniors, Aparna ma'am, Rashmi ma'am, Charu ma'am, all the principals of the various schools, all the participant teachers, those who have attended this program, taken out their time and attended this webinar. Thank you very much to give us this opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day ahead. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Aparna ma'am. Aparna ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we close the session now.
Okay, yes ma'am.
हाँ,
Okay, ma'am.